Hey, everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show, powered by SonicWeb Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. SonicWeb Studios is the answer. SonicWeb Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, time to give official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson-Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you'll love Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, 1 target, where truth is illusion and those you love will be the first go missing. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing by Mia Molson-Zia has garnered great reviews and even love and endorsed by Howard celebrities, including Jonah Cassie, Forbes Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today for Goes Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon. Also, check out the Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com and over 30 podcast platforms, including Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also, Anchor FM, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Audible, Apple Music, and more. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. And for great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com and check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast. T-shirts, pop sockets, throw pillows, tote bags, makes great gifts year-round. Amazon.com and check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast. And for more great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com/Mia Molson-Zia and check out great books like Missing, Once, Wrinkles, also T-shirts, pop sockets, hoodies, phone cases, and more. Amazon.com/Mia Molson-Zia. Check it out today. Also support the Mike Wagner Show on Anchor FM, PayPal, and the MikeWagnerShow.com. Make sure you give generously today. We're here with a terrific lady who is a leading spiritual luminary in these times. She's a founder of Divine Mother Guidance and Healing and the Divine Mother Church. We'll talk more about that. She communicates with Divine Mother and brings profound divine messages of healing and knowledge for many people. And among spiritual teachers, which is unique, not only she receives the divine messages, but teaches others to receive them as well. She can teach anyone to receive their own answers to life's questions from Jesus, Mother Mary, the Ascended Master Babaji, or any divine being. She's also written a book called Divine Mother Healing, which contains a series of healing tools that people can use to heal themselves and their loved ones. They're effective even if the words are just read out loud or repeated silently, and using them automatically connects you to the healing power of Divine Mother. And live, ladies and gentlemen, from the Plus Studios, somewhere in Iowa, which is over by University of Iowa, and of course, in the little field of dreams. And of course, you build it, everybody will come. Ladies and gentlemen, the author of Divine Mother Healing and a leading spiritual luminary, founder of Divine Mother Guidance and Healing. Ladies and gentlemen, author and the amazing Connie Huebner. Connie, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you. Wow, what an introduction. Love it.
And of course, you could also add the Field of Dreams to the list as well, where you're at too. So if you build it, they will come.
I should have mentioned that earlier.
I didn't think about it till second now. Maybe the Divine Mother told me that you got to say, if they build, they will come.
Right. That's right. That's true.
And
well,
of course,
that's happened for me.
And of course, we'll talk about how you managed to build it and where you're at as well. You're a leading spiritual luminary and founder at Divine Mother Guidance and Healing, and also Divine Mother Church. And not only you receive the divine messages, but teaches to receive, and also can teach anyone to receive their own answers to life questions from Jesus, Mother Mary, the Ascended Master Babaji, and more. You live life as a college student until you challenge to show that that God existed and swept into oneness. We'll talk more about that. And the new book provides a system that simply allows anyone to have their own healing or spiritual ascension to practice on a healing session and more. And before we get into all that, Connie, tell us how you first got started.
Well, okay. Honestly, I first got started because I had a spiritual experience. Mm-hmm. And I wasn't particularly religious or anything like that. I was just one afternoon, I was in college, and I was lying on my back in a field looking up at the sky, and without any expectation from my side or even knowing what was going to happen. And I wasn't, like I said, I was not particularly religious. I grew up in a Christian household, but it wasn't like forced on me or anything. So I was just living my life. And so I'm lying on my back looking up at the blue sky, and I decided, I knew there were stars up there, but I couldn't see them because it was daylight. And I just pushed my attention, and I kind of tried to look for the stars in the blue.
Mhm.
And as I was gazing up there, all of a sudden my whole perspective changed. And I realized that I was experiencing unity with everything.
Hmm.
Um, and it was, kind of surprising. And and so I really didn't know what to do with it except like think, well, this is really different. Um, and I had a friend with me, and I don't even know how long it lasted. It could have been 10 seconds, it could have been 10 minutes, but I sat up and I said, I'm one with everything. And he kind of looked at me like, what are you talking about? And I just said, well, okay, it doesn't matter, let's not talk about it now. So we walked back to our dorms and everything. And but I found that the experience didn't leave me. Even at times I would try to get rid of it, because not that it was bothersome, it was actually nice, but when I would look at people and say to them, I'm one with you, I could tell that it was a little bit too intimate. I was, it's like, what do you mean? And some people said, oh, you must be on a drug. And I said, well, no, this doesn't go away like a drug does. And plus I didn't take anything.
Mhm.
And then some other people would say, well, maybe you better go see a psychiatrist. You should talk to a therapist about this, which I did. But that wasn't at all helpful. It never went away. So I decided to try to find someone else who was experiencing this oneness. And to make a long story short, I visited a lot of ashrams. I read a lot of books. And there were people who would talk about it, especially in the books, the philosophers and so on. But I couldn't find anyone who was living, who was experiencing it.
Mhm.
And finally, one day I met somebody who said, you should learn to meditate, because meditation gives you that experience of expansion. And sometimes when I'm meditating with a lot of people, I feel one with them. So I did. I found a meditation, and it happened to be Transcendental Meditation at the time. And it was taught by Maharishi Mahesh Yogi. And I thought, okay, I need to meet Maharishi Mahesh Yogi. I learned to meditate, and but I wasn't satisfied that anyone that I had learned from had really had this experience that I was having. I couldn't really talk to them about it or share it with them, except as a theory. Yes, that's theoretically possible. So I decided to meet Maharishi, and it took me about a year to get it together to go to one of his courses. And I had the opportunity to sit with him one-on-one, and I had a test.
It's not a quiz, it's a test. Multiple choice, true or false. You
Right,
decide.
exactly. So the test was, and you got to realize this was the early 70s. So a lot of, the idea of being one wasn't as popular as it is nowadays. It's much more
Mhm.
common, and talking about consciousness is more common these days. But back then it wasn't something people were commonly discussing. So I finally I was talking about a method of a technique of meditation I had learned from him, and I turned to look at him, and I just wanted to. The test was if I could stare in somebody's eyes and they could stare back at me without shifting their gaze or closing their eyes. If we could gaze at each other, we would meet in that oneness. And nobody had met so far had been able to do it. So anyway, I was giving him what I called my oneness test, and turned and looked into his eyes, and he just held my gaze. In fact, he held it more than anyone else I had ever known. In fact, I just
Wow.
fell into the depth of his gaze. And actually, I was the one who finally turned away. And at that time, I realized, okay, this man has something to teach me. I'm going to sign on. And so I did sign on with him, and I learned all about what this unity of this wholeness, this oneness of consciousness meant. And I also learned how to teach it to other people. And it was really a wonderful thing. I grew, tremendously. And at that time, we were teaching it to really literally thousands of people, even turned out millions around the world. And it was a very popular thing and so anyway, after doing that for a while, and this is how I got into this Divine Mother work that I'm doing now, I had this overwhelming desire to meet the creator of the universe.
Okay.
I was experiencing, this depth of unity and oneness and so on, but I wanted to talk to God, essentially. And so I went on an inner quest. I had, Jesus, Maharishi repeated Jesus Christ in saying, the kingdom of heaven is within you. And so I kind of innocently thought, okay, well, I got to get to that kingdom of heaven so that I can talk to God. And
except don't climb up the Tower of Babel like the majority have failed. Don't
No.
do that. Don't buy a ladder from a hardware store, and don't try it at home.
I won't. I didn't do that.
Thank God they sold out. I didn't buy one. So
but anyway, the bottom line is I would go inside looking for this elusive kingdom of heaven, day after day after day. And finally, at one point, I had an experience where I perceived on my inner vision this this wave of light come up out of this nothingness. And I remembered that phrase, let there be light. Because
and there is light.
There is light, and the whole universe was created. So I was watching this light come up, and then I saw this wave divide, and then it divided into 2, then it divided into 4, then it divided into 8, and then I watched it combine, all of the waves combine, and it was a fascinating display of light multiplying itself.
Wow.
And yeah, it was really, really gorgeous and beautiful. And I was awed by the whole thing. And so at one point, this question came out of me spontaneously, which was more of a thought, though I didn't verbalize it. I said, who are you? And the answer came back, I am the Divine Mother. I am birthing the universe. And I thought, wow, birthing the universe. That's what mothers do. And so I continued to watch, and it was fascinating. I was even shown how the light eventually turns into particles that turn into atoms that then create matter. And it was just amazing. So at that time, I was getting this information, and my thought came, this is the creator? This is God?
Wow.
And so I signed on. I signed on with Divine Mother at that point. And I've been learning about her and from her ever since. And that's why I have this book called Divine Mother Healing, because in order to learn about her and really experience the fullness of what she had to offer, I had to heal myself. I had to purify. And all of the healing tools in this book are tools that I used to connect, to clarify, to clear blocks in my system, to clear pain in my heart.
Wow.
It wasn't a short thing. It took me probably eight years.
Wow.
8 years of, working with her to kind of feel like, okay, I think I know what I'm doing enough to help to bring this to other people
Mhm.
and teach others.
And,
But
and
I
and
am,
and so just to clarify, Divine Mother is the birth of the universe.
no, well, Divine Mother creates the universe.
Okay,
Also,
that's it. I was trying to find out. So,
right. That's what the birthing thing meant. I mean, um, and honestly, my experience of the Divine Mother is she is that Mother, Father, God unity,
mhm,
that presence, that divine presence that is Mother, Father, God, and that at this time on our planet, the mother aspect of that presence is very much needed because of the heart quality,
mhm.
the need for nourishment, the need for nurturing. Our human family has become so disconnected and conflicted,
Oh yes.
fighting with each other. I mean, wars happening even today.
Oh my
Um,
gosh, World War III is about to happen soon with the news about Russia and Ukraine, and have some discussion about that. It's just like be prepared, folks.
yeah, well, I'm trying to avoid that with these
Right.
tools. We got to stop it somehow. And so I have learned from the Divine Mother in my own process of healing and clearing myself that energy is the basis of everything. And that if we can shift our internal energy, we can shift what happens on the outside. There's this tremendous force, which I just call life force, that's animating all of us. And that when there's a problem, like whether it's a financial problem or relationship problem, a health issue, or heck, even a war in
Mm-hmm.
Ukraine, um, that it's because the energy is out of balance. And
Mm-hmm.
in our system, there's even blocks in our energy that prevent us from accessing all the intelligence that we have, all of the knowledge we carry within. And if
Mm-hmm.
those blocks can be dissolved, then we can solve the problems like the, the health problems, the financial problems, the relationship problems. We have a bigger perspective in dealing with them, and then creative ideas start to come.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm even suggesting, if we could shift the energy in Ukraine, um, we might, we could stop this thing.
Mm-hmm.
I know that's, to some may sound far-fetched, but energy it's all about the changing the energy.
Mm-hmm.
it, I've seen it change individuals many times. And so now I'm just expanding it to a bigger arena, and I'm working in the individual and we are working in the world arena as well. So
Mm-hmm.
actually I recommend people when a disturbing world event happens and you feel so helpless that you can't do anything about it, to pour divine, one of my tools, divine light. Pour it
Okay.
in. More light, more light. Pour love into it. Start breaking up the angst around it, the disagreements, the anger, the resentments. And the break, I have a break command where you say break, 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 break. And we need to break a lot over in Ukraine. But I'm just talking now in terms of our individual lives and the disagreements and conflicts we have with each other.
Mm-hmm.
That by breaking the mindsets of I'm right and you're wrong, just and thinking is a vibration. Every thought is a vibration, and
Mm-hmm.
you have negative vibrations towards yourself or towards someone else, you're creating that in your environment around you.
I, I I
So
heard I
this
heard so I heard
it's
something about that with the negative energy and everything else. We'll talk about that with the vibrational tools and how do you get the Divine Mother healing? She'll walk you through the process and more in just 1 minute in the book Divine Mother Healing. But first, listen to the Mike Widener Show at the MikeWidenerShow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at SonicWebStudios.com for all your needs Looking at a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. It's 1-800-303-3960, or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, time to give official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson-Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you love Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, 1 target, where truth is an illusion and those you love will be the first go missing. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing by Mia Molson-Zia has garnered great reviews and even loved and endorsed by Howard celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today for Goes Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon. Also, check out the Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com on over 30 podcast platforms. Take us with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. For great gift ideas for your loved ones, go to Amazon.com and check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast. And for more great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com/Mia Molson-Zia for great books, merchandise, and more. Amazon.com/Mia Molson-Zia. Check it out today. Also support the Mike Wagner Show on Anchor FM, PayPal, and the MikeWagnerShow.com. Make sure you give generously today. We're here with the leading spiritual luminary and founder of Divine Mother Guidance and Healing and Divine Mother Church, Connie Huebner, here on the Mike Wagner Show, talking about the book Divine Mother Healing. And he had an amazing story to tell as well, too, about taking in the Divine Mother experience. And okay, let's start with the process as well, too, with Divine Mother Healing, how it works. And go ahead and start with the process.
Okay. Well, so the process is, first of all, you mentioned Divine Mother Church. Divine Mother Church honors all the expressions of Divine Mother in all of the spiritual traditions. So, of course, Mother Mary is the most well-known in the Christian tradition, but in the Jewish tradition, there's Shekinah, there's Kuan Yin and Tara in the Buddhist tradition. The Hindu tradition has many mothers. And so the church is to honor the one mother that divides into many forms depending on what culture you happen to be in. So that's what the Divine Mother Church does. It honors the unity of the Divine Mother in every, in the world. So, and the one of the salient points of the Divine Mother is she works with the heart. So what I do when I teach someone, I don't teach people, and I also give them healings, is I start with the heart. And I have them breathe into the heart, center there. There's tremendous pain in most people's hearts. And the heart has been really suppressed in many aspects of our culture, not just the Western culture, but all over the world, in deference to the mind. But often then the mind sort of claims supremacy and ignores the heart. And when some incredible information or knowledge comes forth and from the depths of the heart, the mind will put it down or questions that, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. So the heart has been suppressed in a lot, and people are afraid to even speak from the heart. There've been wounding in the heart. So one of the first things that we do is heal the heart, and we do that energetically. So I have people breathe into the heart. And when you breathe into the heart, often by breathing into the heart, it's not hard because your heart is right there on either side of your lungs.
Okay.
So it's there.
I'm practicing right now as we speak. So
Great, good. So you just let your attention go to the heart, and the breath is already going in and out. But notice, if you can, what's the energy in the heart? What's going on? Is there pain? Is there fear? For a lot of people, there's contraction. There's tension. So whatever you notice, even if it's openness and expansion, warmth, I say breathe into it, because whatever is there, it's going to take you into Divine Mother's presence, because her home is in the heart. So by breathing into the heart, you're really walking into the home of Divine Mother. And then I will start to set me up. I will unify with Divine Mother. I'll call on her in all her many names. I'll call upon from the Christian faith, Mother Mary, from the Jewish faith, Shekinah. I won't do it here unless you want me to, but there's a lot of them. But what it does is it keeps inviting the mother in, and then inviting her in again, and that energy increases so that the energy is really around you and accessible to you. And then after that, I will start pulling in divine light, pouring in light, bathing the person with light. It's an energy, but energy can be directed and it can be moved by your attention. So I'm going to say to you, more light is pouring into you, more and more divine light, filling you, healing you. And in fact, I'll extend that to anyone listening right now. More light is pouring into you, the listener, bathing you, soaking you, healing you, softening the heart. Soften just means allow the heart to settle and expand, diffuse the boundaries of the heart so that you often are, actually your awareness is becoming bigger than the heart. Soften in the heart. And I'll also have them soften in the throat. It's another one of the major chakras of the body, major energy centers. Soften in the brow, often called third eye. Soften at the crown. Yeah.
If I still have these left here, so.
Soften in the hairs.
There you go. Yes. I knew the softening of her. I do talk a lot, as you could tell. So.
So and then I'll go to soften at the base of the spine, soften in the pelvic area, the navel, the solar plexus. And what that does is it expands you out of your small shell of a body. And you start recognizing that you're actually bigger than your body, that your consciousness is bigger than your body. And so we start expanding the sometimes I call it the prison of the body. And this is energy. We're working with energy to expand it. And then let's see, what do I do next? Then I'll heal the different levels of a person's field. There's the emotional level, the mental level, the etheric level, the physical body level. Then there are some subtle levels that a lot of people aren't aware of. The astral level, the causal level. The causal level is where a lot of the past life experiences are stored. And people can call it past karma. Conditions that you haven't resolved, that have come with you through different lifetimes, or even primarily through this life. So there's the causal, then there's the celestial level. Even that level can be lifted and expanded. So I do the clearing, and one of the most important things I do is to the discord, I say, go into the light. And anyone can do this. If there's disruption around you, you can say, go into the light. What's happening is there's energy congested, energy tensed, energy forms that are trying to compress you or depress you. So I'll say, go into the light, go into the light, go into the light. And the fact that I said depress you is significant, because many people who have depression are overwhelmed with this heavy, dense energy that needs to be released and dissolved. You can start by saying, go into the light to it, but also saying it's important to break it up, because often it's so dense and thick in chronic depression. So break really helps. And that's one of my very powerful tools. It's like there's a dark cloud and you want to break it up, or there's a smoke-filled room and you sort of want to wave that smoke away break it up, burst, break, shatter. So those are some of the tools.
Mhm.
I also have tools that are divine tools. We pour in divine light, more divine light and more divine light, and it lifts the vibration.
Mhm.
Pour in divine love and divine truth, even the ascending light that's in energetically, it's spiraling upwards. So even though you don't see the energy, you're not really tasting or touching it. Many people have a feel for it,
Mhm.
and they can tell if they're being weighted down by something, or if they're light and expansive, and that usually includes joyfulness and happiness.
Mm.
Um, even these emotional states are energetic states. Joy, love is expansion. It's a high vibration.
Mm.
um, Anger is anger, hate, oh my god, that they're very, very deep, dark vibrations, and they need to be broken up,
Mhm.
because you're not your heart is covered, and the truth is that we're okay. Now I don't know how you're going to take this, but I've learned that we are all divine beings in a physical form,
Mm.
that we all have a divine nature.
Mhm.
And so we're living in these physical bodies, but there's also a divine aspect of us that often is ignored.
Mhm.
Now in the consciousness field, it's not being ignored anymore, and people are lifting consciousness and raising their awareness of who they are, and that's
Mhm.
one of my purposes,
Mhm.
is to let you know that you have access to the divine. The
Huh.
divine mother wants a personal relationship with everyone, and can help us get through this challenging time on the planet when so much transformation is going on.
Mhm. And that's very true as well too. You mentioned some of the vibration tools we had discussed as well, and you talked about what are some of the other vibration tools that people can use.
Okay. Well, one of them is an important one, is called closing your aura. We all,
Really?
yes, yes. We all have this auric field around us, which is basically just the energy around your body that emanates from you. And yet, very few people realize that other people's negativity and fear can come into you, and you think, and suddenly you've been in a good mood, and all of a sudden you're feeling rotten,
Really?
or somebody
Just like
says
that?
something. It does change very quickly. Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, I don't know if people have had this experience, but it's I certainly have, is talking to somebody on the phone and they're in a bad mood and they start complaining and so on, and you're feeling great until you hear all of their negativity, and then you feel that you're burdened by the negativity and you don't know how to get rid of it.
Mhm.
Well, two things. One, if people could learn just to close their aura, that means define your vibrational integrity. Close the aura to the negative thought forms. Close the heavy, dense energies. That's these are two of the things I definitely recommend people close to. Close to the false gods. False gods are just anything that says it's more powerful than you, or makes you believe it's more powerful than you. Because truly, if we if we are divine beings in physical form, we have the divine at our disposal.
Mhm.
So close to the false gods, close to COVID virus, close
Oh,
to the
yes,
COVID
that's important.
virus. Yeah. Yeah. And it's a vibration that you can close your aura to it.
Mhm. Okay.
Close to, anyway, negative, any kind of negativity in your circumstances or in your environment, you can close to.
Mhm.
And then you're in your vibrational integrity. So I have these actually, because that closing aura tool is so important, I give that away on my website. If people go to my website, divinemotheronline.net, they'll see a collection of these vibrational tools that they can download for free. And one of them is the closing holes in the aura. It really keeps you from, especially sensitive people, empathic people. They're picking up other people's stuff all the time, and many people don't even know that. But so close your aura, and you'll be safeguarded from that.
That's right. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, I was just going to say another really practical tool is it's called dissolving agreements that we've made in the past that aren't serving us now.
Interesting. I'd like to find more about that.
Yeah. So a lot of I discovered this because I was working with somebody who was telling me that they had a former marriage, and they were married for a while, and then the marriage didn't work anymore, and now they're married to somebody else. But they were feeling like this nagging guilt because they had taken vows in the first marriage, and they didn't feel they could fully engage in the second relationship because of these vows. So I have a tool that divinely allows that, where you basically say, well, Divine Mother says it, everything is done with the Divine Mother. So you ask that she erase any agreements, contracts, vows, commitments, trades, exchanges that are preventing you right now, that were made in the past, that are preventing you right now from being your true self, from owning all of who you are right now in this moment, to give to whoever you are with and wherever you are. So then you start breaking the old vows. You say, and they're only the ones that aren't serving you anymore. So, and it's another thing that's important is everything with Divine Mother is done with love. So even breaking an old vow is done lovingly and kindly. So you say, so these agreements, contracts, vows, commitments, trades, exchanges are now lovingly cracked up, broken open, shattered, made null and void, let go. And by saying break, 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 you're breaking the energy, because, as I said, everything you say is a vibration. So when you take a vow verbally, or even if it's inward, but many vows are stated out loud, there's an energy in your field that is activating that vow and that commitment that you have made. So you can break up that energy.
Okay.
And then pour in the light, and you're centered, and that clears a person from the past so they can fully engage in whatever relationship or commitment they're involved in the present.
That is so interesting. I really enjoy that. And how about some of the real life stories that people use from those vibrational tools?
Oh gosh. I've got so many, I can't think of them all. So one of them is if you're a shy person, and this was one of my issues. I was afraid to speak my truth. I was very shy, and when I had to speak or go somewhere in public, I would literally get a rash on my neck because
really?
I was so anxious about it. This is when I was in high school, of course, but so by what happened for me was by healing my heart and my self-esteem. It has to do with self-esteem. I was afraid to speak because I was afraid I wouldn't be accepted, I wouldn't be liked, I wouldn't be valued. And so I had to break those beliefs, break the fear. And what many people don't realize is the belief and fear can be felt in your body. It's a heaviness, or it's a contraction in the throat. If you're not speaking your truth, which is speaking just the innocent honesty of who you are, usually your throat is tight. And mine was like that.
Oh, wow.
And
yes.
Yeah. So I had to go through a period of pouring light into my throat, pouring light into my heart, because if it's true that our divine self is in the heart, then we've got to open up the heart so that our true self can have a voice through our throat. So I used all those tools, mostly pouring in the divine light and the divine love. I work a lot with self-love. I have a lot of people, and so that helped me. That healed my throat. It healed my self-esteem. But I have a lot of people who basically don't like themselves. They're constantly having negative self-talk. And so what I teach them is self-love. And I have a method, a tool, technique for practicing self-love. And it's basically, it's something you do private with yourself. Honestly, most people need to develop the relationship with themselves more.
That's true. Yes.
And so, so with this self-love technique, I have people, when you're going to bed at night, you're basically alone with yourself. And even if there's somebody next to you in the bed, when you're ready to sleep, you're there and you're falling asleep. That's the most powerful time to start saying nice things to yourself, and use your name. You would use your name. I would say, I love you, Connie. You're a good person. And then I would go through and say nice things that are true. You're not going to lie, but the true things that, you're a good guy. You care about people. You're gifting people with knowledge all the time on this show. So you say things like that. I love the way you give to other people. And, you go through 5, 6, 10 different points that are really true. And when you do that, you relax and you keep saying, I love you. You're this way. You're good. You're whatever the qualities of you that stand out. You're honest. You have integrity. You care about other people. You have inner strength. So you say that to yourself just in your private moment before falling off to sleep.
Wow.
The reason, and it feels good, actually.
I can feel myself saying, I love you, man. Like those Budweiser commercials.
Yeah, right. Of course.
And of course, one of the things I was also really intrigues me is that with these vibrational tools, that medically they can go from getting rid of a simple headache to also curing cancer. It's just a wide spectrum of it. Maybe just tell us a bit about that.
Oh yeah. Well, okay. Many people come to me with health issues, and I always say, work with your doctor on the physical level and work with me on this energetic level. So with me, we're going to attack the energy level, and the energy level means the cells, the molecules, the atoms, and we're going to shift the energy there so that when the atoms are vibrating and they create healthy cells. And so I've had tremendous good luck. And I'm not going to say I'm the only that this is the only thing to do. I always recommend take your medical guidance and deal with it on that level as well. But this is a tremendous support for vibrant good health, because you're shifting at these very subtle levels of your body, and many people, I'll say most people, can feel it when there's a heavy pain somewhere or a block somewhere, and it gets released. You're able to feel it. Suddenly there's a flow of energy, and that flow of energy is the life force that's been blocked, that is causing those tissues, those cells to be compromised. And so working with these vibrational tools, and the beautiful thing is you don't all have to come see me to do it. I do it for groups, several times a week on my website. But I want to create energy managers out of all of you. I want you to be able to be energy healers. And that's why I wrote this book, to empower everyone to be able to shift the pain in themselves, the negativity that they run into, just in terms of that inner self-talk and that lack of self-love.
Okay.
Getting back to the lack of self-love, the reason it's so significant to do it just before going to bed at night is because you're going through a change in consciousness. You're going from being awake to being asleep, and between those two extremes is this gap, is this place where the pure self is, just unadulterated, pure you. And when you're saying things like, I love you, I care for you, you're a good person, that goes in very deep. And you start to incorporate it. It just automatically, you don't have to do really anything else. You don't have to think it. You just drop it in there as you're falling off asleep. And then you'll find you automatically start being stronger, more confident, having more self-assuredness. So it's very beautiful. I mean, I've experienced it myself. So I know it works. But many people that I've taught the self-love to, self-love it's a challenging thing, because I think everyone has that inner critic. And it needs I'd say to the inner critic, just change it. Even say to the inner critic, when it's talking at you, say, I love you to the inner critic.
I love you, man.
Disarm it. It disarms it, really. It's like, what?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. You know what? That's a good reminder. I'll skip the night tea. I'll skip the wine, and I'll just say, I love you. I'll go to sleep like that. So,
Great. Okay.
and where can we find your book at?
My book is available on Amazon. Here's what it looks like: Divine Mother Healing, Vibrational Healing Tools for Your Body, Mind, and Spirit. And the first 40 pages are about me. They talk about how I discovered all of these tools. And then the rest of it are ways to use all these vibrational tools. You can use them in a split second. I call it healing on the run. If you happen to be in a grocery store and somebody's yelling at their kids and creating a ruckus, you can say, go into the light. You can say, break. You can pour light into it in just 10 seconds, and then it'll help. Anyway, you can see this is a larger book. It's a workbook size, so that somebody can actually put it on their lap and read it. You can read the tools at first and get used to what they are and how to say them. But then when you're off in your life and you realize, oh, something's really off here, I need to change the energy, you can just paraphrase and say, divine light is pouring into this situation. Divine love is pouring into so-and-so that are so upset. Or if they're arguing, you can say, break, and go into the light, to the energy.
You know what? That reminds me of a thing about the grocery store. I can just say, break, go into light and take the candy with you, kid. And the candy can travel. Yes.
That's right.
And of course, what's coming up in 2022 for Connie Huebner, more in the book, and what else can she offer as well? And perhaps a message. We'll find out just 1 minute. Listen to the Mike Widener Show at the MikeWidenerShow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Also brought to you by our official sponsor of the Mike Widener Show, international war-ring author Mia Molson's Missing, available on Amazon and paperback and ebook. We'll be back with author Connie Huebner of Divine Mother Healing after this time out. We're back with author Connie Huebner of Divine Mother Healing here on the Mike Widener Show, leading spiritual luminary and founder of Divine Mother Guidance and Healing and Divine Mother Church. I mean, just a great conversation with you. Learned a lot from you about the vibrational tools, Divine Mother, healing, and everything like that. And of course, not only about the book, but you also offer other services. You got Empowerment Series, Ascension members, and tell us about some of the other benefits that you offer as well.
Okay. So one of the things that I offer, every Saturday I do a healing, and many people attend. It's online. Every other Saturday it's free. I do charge $20 every other Saturday. It's just to cover my expenses, but I try to offer as much free as I can. So that is, you'll get a real deep vibrational healing Saturday mornings. And if you can't attend on Saturday mornings at 10 Central Time, you will get all you have to do is register, and you'll automatically be sent a recording of the whole thing.
Wow.
That's one thing I do. Another thing is, I mentioned this, I know how to communicate. I can talk to Divine Mother. We can even see if she has a message for us.
Sure. We love to hear what Divine Mother's got to say.
So my class is called Dialogue with Divine Mother, and I teach people how to talk to Divine Mother. And it's an inner experience. I don't consider this channeling, because I am fully present, and I just I usually close my eyes so that I'm not distracted by the environment. But I'll say, Divine Mother, come forth. Where are you? Come forth. And I feel her vibration. And then I'll say, is that you, Divine Mother? Yes, yes. I'm getting a big expansion, which is a vibratory yes. And then I always ask if she comes in the name of divine truth, just to make sure I'm not getting any dissonance from from my own mind, or from any lower level energy or entity. So we're asked, do you come in the name of the infinite truth of all life, Mother?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm getting this deep depth and expansion into the depths, and she's saying yes. So would you like to speak? Yes, I would like to speak. So here we go.
Okay, go ahead.
Time?
Yes, I'm ready.
All right. I am Divine Mother. I come in the name of the infinite truth. I love you, Mike. Thank you for inviting me on this show. And I love your listeners, and I want them to know that I am just a call away. If you just say, Divine Mother, help me, I'll be present. And then soften and wait. And I'll shift something for you that will help you get through whatever the challenge is at that moment. I really want to be in your life. I want to be known and recognized. The divine feminine is coming forth on the planet today. It's full of light. It's full of love. It's full of fun. And it's full of deep knowledge that the earth has been missing. The loss of this knowledge is why there's so many challenges and problems in the world today. So let me help you. I love you. Call on me. Trust. The Divine Mother is here, and we have a life to live together. Thank you.
That is so amazing. And I'm sure Divine Mother's listening right now and going like this. So
You're right.
and of course, what else can we expect from you? I'm not sure if I asked that question. It's like I got so involved with Divine Mother, and I'm sure you got a lot of good things. And if there's anything else you want to talk about, what's coming up as well, let us know and everything. So,
okay. Well, I have another book in the works, hopefully be published in the next year. It's called Divine Mother Speaks, and it'll be just messages from Divine Mother. She's talked about lots of things, and so that's something that's coming. It'll probably be definitely it'll be on Amazon. But right now, my biggest focus is wanting to teach people how to use these tools, and they're so simple to use, and there's and they work so well. So I want to encourage everybody to get this book, Divine Mother Healing, or at the least go to my website, divinemotheronline.net, and download some of the free tools. There are a lot of other free things. All these free Saturday healings that I offer, they're available. So come and check it out.
We certainly will do so, Connie. And who do you consider biggest influence in your career?
I think the biggest influence in my career was Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, the man who taught me how to meditate,
Mm-hmm.
because it connected me to this infinite source of all life. This sort of, I call it the infinite wholeness. The physicists call it the unified field. And it's where everything resides in potential, but we have access to it and can bring it out into our world. So I'm extremely grateful to him. I had that source in my oneness experience. I just didn't know what it was. And through my, all the years I spent with him, I learned how powerful it is and how important it is to give it to other people.
Mm-hmm. And that's very powerful as well. And what's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point?
Love yourself. Love yourself.
Did you hear that, Mom?
Yeah, it's important. It's very important. And many people have to untrain themselves from being harsh with themselves. You are so beautiful. You are so good. You are so powerful. And when you don't love yourself, when you think there's something wrong with you, it can be, first of all, there's nothing wrong with you. But if you think there's something wrong with you, we can heal it till you realize how beautiful and good and strong and clear you are.
Mm-hmm.
And one other thing I would like to say is that the planet is rising. Humanity is rising. Humanity is rising in self-awareness, in consciousness, and we are going to bring about a new time on the planet when people will be more peaceful with each other and kind to each other. And we're riding that wave right now. It's in a huge transformation. So there are lots of ups and downs, but hang in there. It's going to happen. It's coming forth, and the Divine Mother will help you, will walk us through it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And certainly will do so. Once again, author Connie Huebner, also a founder of Divine Mother Guidance and Healing and Divine Mother Church, author of the book Divine Mother Healing and the Mike Wagner Show. Connie, very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely fantastic. Looking forward to having you again soon. Make sure you keep us up to date, keep in touch. We'd love to have you back on. Once again, tell us about your upcoming projects, what's your website, how do people contact or can people purchase, check out your book and check out your services.
Okay, divinemotheronline.net. And the book is Divine Mother Healing. You can go right to Amazon and get it, or we have it on my website. I'm inviting you to come to the website and explore it. As I said, there are a lot of free things available, but there are also a lot of wonderful classes and courses that you can take to enrich your inner life. And when the inner life is enriched, the outer life becomes enriched.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd love to have you come to the website.
We certainly will do so. Once again, Connie, very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely amazing. Learned a lot from you. Looking forward to having you again soon. Make sure you keep us up to date. Keep in touch. We'd love to have you back. We wish you all the best. And looking forward to having you again. You've got a great future ahead of you. Love to have you back.
Thanks.